Yoga is known for being one of the most healing practices known to man and woman. It's an ancient practice used as an integral tool in several addiction recovery programs. Whether you're a skeptic about the power of yoga or a dedicated lifelong yogi, this video will help you decide whether or not it's a good choice for you to add yoga to your addiction recovery program. If you're familiar with my weekly sobriety tip videos, then you're probably used to the format by now. If not, here's how it goes down. First, I'll share about my experience with the topic at hand, in this case, yoga, and how it's contributed to my sobriety. Next, I'll go into a little bit of research that's available, and luckily there is quite a bit when it comes to yoga as a tool for addiction recovery. Finally, I will cap off the video with a practical tip that you can try ASAP. Today, I'll be offering you guys 5 of my favorite easy yoga poses that have been essential in my addiction recovery. So make sure to stay tuned until the very end, or else. I got these new glasses. They're so fucking cute. I love them so much, but I can't wear them when I'm on film because ring light problems. I could just speak like this the whole time, but you guys would probably question whether or not I'm actually sober. I am, by the way. 3 years as of 2 days ago. Hello everyone! I'm the $6 succulent that dies 2 weeks after you buy it, Allie. I'm also the creator and host of Young, Dumb, and Sober, the channel dedicated to spreading the revolutionary yet important idea that sobriety is fun, even if you're in those prime party years. If you want to help me spread that message, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell so you get notifications every time I upload new content. Also, I'm on every single fucking social media platform that you can think of. Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, Twitter. Go hit me up on those. I will definitely answer you at some point. Alright, let's begin with my experience with yoga and how it helped me in my sobriety. If you know me personally, you probably know a little bit about my story, in which case you probably know how important yoga has been to my recovery from substance abuse. And you've probably heard me talk about it like a gajillion times. You see, yoga was one of the first hobbies I picked up in sobriety. And although I had no idea it would at the time, it pretty much changed my life a lot for the better. The year was 2016. I had just gotten out of a train wreck of a relationship and entered into an even bigger train wreck of a breakup. I had literally just gotten sober, probably like a week prior, and I was desperate to do something that would make me feel better. And since I was committed to not using drugs or alcohol to do that, I had to get creative. One Amazon cart and $300 later, I found myself the new owner of several pieces of yoga equipment and activewear, as well as a member of the quaint little yoga studio down the road from my house. So now to bring you to speed, not only was I heartbroken and devoid of any healthy coping mechanism, I was also sort of broke and relying on an exercise I had done one time to save my life. The craziest part, it kind of did. So after leaving my first class in tears, mind you, I was hooked. I mean, it made me feel something, which was a really nice change from the endless void of numbness I had been experiencing. Dove in with both feet, and I haven't looked back since. In fact, a year or so after that first class, I'd find myself living at an ashram in the mountains of Pennsylvania for an entire summer so that I could get certified to teach yoga myself. Yeah, I was that into it, which made sense because it was pretty much the only thing I had found that could actually ease my anxiety and depression and get me out of my head. That wasn't drugs and alcohol. And even better than drugs and alcohol, it didn't have any shitty consequences. And when I noticed how strong of an impact it had on me, I was really eager to learn more about what role it possibly played in addiction recovery. Luckily, I was fortunate enough to learn just that around 6 months after I got sober, when I relapsed on pills and alcohol and was sent away to rehab in Atlantic City. But it was a holistic treatment program which included yoga as a main part of their recovery process. From then on out, I got even more into yoga and how it relates to sobriety. Although I was already in one program at the time, I found 2 other 12-step programs that really resonated with me because they included yoga in their main principles. One was Y12SR, Yoga 12-Step Recovery, and the other was Recovery 2.0. You can buy the books associated with both of these programs in the description below, and I highly suggest you check them out. So if two organizations based on addiction recovery implemented yoga as a main tenet of their healing methodologies, and there were thriving members, tens of thousands of them between the two programs, it makes sense that there's a little bit of research to back all this up. You know what time it is? Science time! So it's no surprise that a lot of people get sober and they realize they have this yearning of some sort. And no, I don't mean just to get high or drunk. I mean a yearning for something much deeper. Something many of us in recovery have come to understand as connection, maybe even spiritual connection. In case you're new to yoga, it's kind of a very spiritual practice. I can make several more videos explaining how it goes way beyond the physical practice of moving your body, and there's philosophy behind it and years of literature and texts, and I am not even scratching the surface here. So if you're really into it, do some of your own research, because this video is going to barely cover it. What had happened was more Eastern practices like yoga and meditation and mindfulness and all of that great stuff started blowing up in the West. Scientists over here began paying attention to how these mechanisms really work and what their potential benefits are. It just so happened that what they found yoga to be beneficial for dovetails perfectly for navigating the often dark abyss of addiction. So the Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health says that addiction basically has two components: the physiological and mental cravings for a substance. Then there's the ability of the individual to tolerate rather than acting on those sensations. Meditation and yoga have the potential to provide relief from both of these factors. See, they offer tools to down-regulate stress response system. Not to mention they increase our ability to observe our experiences with a greater sense of equanimity. Equanimity. In layman's terms, yoga helps us to take advantage of the pause between our thought or craving, so the stimulus, and the action, so the act or behavior of picking up the drink or the drug. There's also the theory that addiction and substance abuse is a form of self-medication, something that people turn to because they found no other healthy way to lessen certain uncomfortable symptoms they were experiencing, like physical pain or anxiety or depression. Hi, me. And if this is the case, which I do believe to be partly true for myself, then it makes sense why yoga would be considered an effective tool for a treatment program of recovery. One study found that only 10 sessions of hatha yoga led to lower stress, less anxiety, and a better quality of life. Another study found benefits on anxiety and mood from 12 sessions of Iyengar yoga, and most likely the benefits are even more pronounced with continual practice. That was definitely the case for me. So if we think about the person who has fell into addiction because they started self-medicating, chronic pain triggers changes in the brain structure that are linked to depression and anxiety, not to mention impaired cognitive function. Research from Catherine Bushell, a PhD and scientific director of the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, that is a mouthful, found that practicing yoga has the opposite effect on the brain structure and thus can relieve chronic pain as well as anxiety and depression. And perhaps some of these studies are what informed Tommy Rosen, who is the creator of Recovery 2.0, one of the programs I mentioned earlier. And maybe it also informed Nikki Myers, who's the creator of Y12SR. As someone who attends meetings for both of these fellowships, I can tell you that they're both profoundly helpful, at least for me. I highly suggest you guys try them out, especially if something in this video is speaking to you. You always kind of wanted to try yoga but have been hesitant. Like, this is the sign you need. Believe in that mind, body, spirit connection, a relationship with addiction recovery. This is definitely an avenue I think you should explore. Make sure to link the website for these programs and all of their online meetings right in the description below. Maybe I'll see you at one. That would be so cool. In the meantime, let's learn some yoga poses that I have found to be especially helpful for dealing with some of the emotions that suck to have and have helped me in my sobriety. You can do these poses in a series, you can mix them up, you can do them as standalone, you can do them in a chair. No matter what, the first thing is that you have to make sure that you're being safe. I would suggest looking at videos first online, and if you have any particular problems with your physical health or even like heart issues, like speak to your doctor first before you actually try any yoga. After you've done that, my biggest suggestion is to consciously follow your breath as you practice these poses. One is mountain pose, and the benefit of that is that it opens up our heart and invites stillness into the body. And it kind of looks like this. 2 is child's pose, one of my favorites. Releases tension in the shoulders as well as the spine and actually relieves mental fatigue. Also encourages feelings of safety and protection, as though you were in a womb of healing energy. And it looks like this. Number 3, butterfly pose. It gently opens up the hips and the pelvis, and as one of my best friends has once said to me, the hips are the graveyard of our emotions. It looks like this. 4, legs up the wall pose. It relaxes the legs and the feet by relieving pressure. Try it like this. Corpse pose. It sounds scary, but I promise it's not. It is the most basic pose of relaxation, and it pretty much caps off every single yoga practice. And it's really helpful in relieving the body of tension and stilling the mind. It relaxes, it rejuvenates, it replenishes the mind and body. Do it like this. You guys ever tried yoga before? If so, comment below your favorite pose. While you're at it, subscribe to Young, Dumb, and Sober. And if you're feeling super generous, choose one of the several ways you can donate to Young, Dumb, and Sober so that you can help me keep the lights on, help me making this free content, and help me to keep connecting with you guys and keeping the community alive. Thank you so much for watching. It's been real, it's been zen, and it's been real zen.